chug some beers and make some bad gambling picks. Welcome to ChuggieBets. Embarrassing. To be the Miami Dolphins, who blew a 14-point lead in under 3 minutes left in the game, first time since 2016, and it happens very infrequently. Or to be the Las Vegas Raiders and lose a game where the winning team scores 3. Andy, what's more embarrassing?
It's more embarrassing to be the Dolphins because at least that means the Raiders, had a good day on defense, right? They only gave up 3 points. That's something to hang your hat on. The Dolphins have nothing to hang their hat on. Their offense
Dolphins
wasn't
defense
good.
had a good day.
Not in the last 3 minutes, they didn't. So yeah, the Dolphins is definitely more embarrassing.
I gotta go with the other
I
side.
fell asleep.
I think it's you give up 3 points and you lose. That it didn't sound embarrassing until you said it out loud, and now it just sounds so gross.
It feels bad, man. It feels bad. The shine has fallen off of Josh Dobbs a little bit the past few weeks. We were all loving him a couple weeks
Astronaut,
ago.
man.
As long as it stays that way for another 3 weeks, I'll be happy.
Yeah, the Lions are rooting for that. You must have loved that result in New York.
4 weeks, rather, yeah.
So my name is Matt. There's Andy. There's Danny. Here's host next to me. Welcome to ChuggieBets. Let's drink some beer.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I love host.
We couldn't have 2 Andys.
No, I can't have a pair of Andys. There's only one Andy. It's like Highlander. Let's go to the NFL week that was last week. We didn't have a podcast last week. We messed up. But if you're on TikTok, we gave you gems. Al was killing the game at 6-3. Andy, 7-3. Good ass week. It was a great week to be a teaser. I'm not going to lie. It was a great week to be on the teasing side. Before we go any further and kind of jump right into the picks, I want to play a game with you guys. It's Are They Good?
Bam, 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 bam. I ruined that.
I don't even remember his name. Is it Jake Browning? Josh
Yeah.
Browning?
Jake Browning,
Jake-
that's right.
Jake Browning. Is he good, Al?
No.
No?
Nope. He has played well, but he is not good. Does that make sense?
It does. It does
Yeah.
make sense. Andy, is Jake Browning good?
Not long term, no.
All I can do is go with the evidence that's on the field, Meadow. The answer is yes.
Yes, he is good. Hell yeah, he's good. You know he's good. He's been really impressive the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We'll go into my point in a second. But Jake Browning, JB, Joe Burrow, replacement in Cincinnati over here.
I mean, he seems the best ability is availability.
Oh, thank you, Coach. I appreciate it. All right, let's go to the next round. Now, pretend it's 2012. You've just logged on to MySpace, updated your favorite file. I don't think MySpace is still around then. But
Burned your favorite CD.
Attached your puka shell necklace.
Your
You
favorite
guys are talking about the
Tamagotchi.
night.
I know.
Your favorite
Came up with
Tamagotchi.
a great idea for a vaping cigarette.
Hell yeah, you did. But it was so far off. Sports betting isn't legal. You see Joe Flacco just whipping the pill around the field in Baltimore, beating New England. 11 years later, Joe Flacco looks pretty good. But I bring it to the table. Andy, is Joe Flacco good?
Yeah, Joe Flacco is good. Maybe not as good as he once was, but there's a lot of real bad quarterbacks in the NFL.
Andy, you were
Joe's not
this
one of them.
close. You were this
Yeah,
close.
he's as
He's
good
not as
once
good as he
as
once
he,
was, but he's as good as once.
as he ever was.
As he ever was. That's
But
right.
there's more games for him to play now, and he's only as good once as he ever was.
Listen, I want to see in 5 years the most boring spin-off of that Kurt Warner movie they made, where it's just about Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco's probably the only quarterback more boring than Kurt Warner. And this
Intentionally
dude,
boring.
he was straight up retired. This dude wasn't he didn't just get cut or get signed off a practice squad. He was not playing in the NFL, and they were just like, we need somebody. Come on. Like, so this dude was bagging groceries or bagging bagging something that wasn't football, and now he is.
He
Probably his
wasn't
wife,
bagging
because that's the
footballs.
most boring
That's
way.
right, yeah.
Bagging his wife missionary, because that's the most boring.
That's
For
how you
sure,
roll.
For sure. Do you think he's ever had sex in a different position?
Do you think Joe Flacco is like milk and potatoes sex guy? I can see him spicing it up. Like,
I think.
Do you think his
milk
wife
and
like turned
potatoes
around
are
on him once
literally-
and he like called it assault?
I think milk, potatoes, and lean ground beef is all Joe Flacco ever eats. I think that he is the most boring guy.
He's got the Al Michaels diet. Do not put a vegetable on that plate. He
You
said
think-
potatoes,
Potatoes are a
damn it.
vegetable.
Damn it.
can we talk about Al Michaels for a second?
Yeah.
Is he like? I would normally worry that you haven't had a phytonutrient in your life. You're probably going to die earlier. But he looks pretty good. He's still got his capacities. I don't know how old Al Michaels is when I'm making.
He
this
probably
point.
gets like blood transfusions. from
He's
people who
48.
eat vegetables.
No.
Did you see the story about Al Michaels today?
No.
They cut him from playoff coverage. He will not be
Yeah.
announcing any playoff games.
Well, I mean, it's understandable because he sounds like he literally hates doing this for a job.
He's tied
He
for the
hates
most Super Bowls
all of it.
announced ever at 11, and he thought he was interviewed like a few weeks ago. He thought he was doing the Super Bowl, and turns out he's not.
Wow, I did not hear that. I
Yeah.
like
Who are they
I read
putting
that
on
today.
it?
If it's Kirk Herbstreit, I'm gonna lose my
Greg
mind.
Olson.
I'd take some Greg Olson, man. I love that fake ass hair.
I love Greg
A
Olson, but
handsome
I
man,
hate
yeah.
I hate the way he says Sam Laporta. He says Sam Laporta. Laporta. And I'm like, stop saying it like that.
Amy used to get so mad anytime Gruden did a Dolphins game, and he'd say Tanny Hill.
Oh, that hurts.
That would get my
It's
dick
like-
hard.
They're like doing it
in
intentional, you know?
Tanny Hill.
All right, one more game, a new game show. We're gonna call it Gun to Your Head. Welcome to Gun to Your Head. Doesn't hit the same. Let's call it Gun to Your Head.
A little like Squid Game style.
Andy, actually, Danny, gun to your head. Who wins the NFC South?
I'm hoping that they put it to a committee and vote somebody that's not in the NFC South.
I hope they do the Mountain West, where the computer just
Florida State.
decides-
Florida State should win the NFC South.
They should.
Oh.
No, my best answer would be Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. Host, gun to your head. Who wins the NFC South?
Oof. Falcons.
Falcons. Desmond Ritter boys are in the house.
Yeah.
Actually, Younghoe Koo is.
I think I'd rather, gun to my head, I'd say the winner of the NFC South is going to finish with a record of exactly 8-9.
I think everyone in the NFC South is going to finish with a record of 8-9, except for Carolina.
That's actually probably also accurate.
Andy,
and
gun
all
to your
of
head.
them, 2 of their wins are Carolina.
NFC South.
The Saints,
Saints. Wow.
led by Jameis Winston.
Oh, so help me.
Come
if that-
on. You had
Derek
it for a
Carr
second.
goes down again. Jameis Winston leads them to a bunch of wins and
Dude,
an NFC South championship.
It's going to take a Mack truck to hit Derek Carr to keep him out of these games.
How
He's
many
playing with like
W's is he
cracked
going?
ribs right now.
He is
He's
a beast.
dead. He's actually dead. Derek Carr is walking around. He's weekend at Bernie's right now, throwing passes around because he's no
They
longer.
just got him
like,
tied to the
enemy.
sky cam.
Yeah,
Still got a rocket arm though.
he does.
I'm
He
just
still looks
picturing.
good.
I'm just picturing what Andrew McCarthy and Jonathan Silverman just like pulling strings from like the upper deck, trying to get him to like throw the ball.
Derek
Oh,
Carr still
God.
got a rocket
The height
checking
is
out
insane
tight
in
end
the
to run it
400
down.
level.
He
God,
jumped down.
I'm a Weekend at Bernie's. It's my favorite Christmas movie.
A little bit of breaking news here, guys. I do think it's worthwhile. R.I.P. Wycheck. We talked about in this college football podcast. Way too young to die. Part of the Music City Miracle.
Careful on those ladders, guys.
Careful on those ladders, boys.
Pay somebody to string your Christmas lights up, people.
No, you got to be a man. Sometimes you got to flirt with death. And that's why men die so early. because-
Sometimes you got flirting is one thing. Like going all the way is not.
Don't let your
Yeah.
pregnant wife
Not
put
cool,
on that
bro.
ladder.
It's part of the flirt. Sometimes you lose with death.
Yeah.
Wait, Matt, you didn't do gun to your head.
Oh, gun to my head.
Panthers, then.
I think it's Tampa Bay. I'm rooting for. Now, I didn't think about Jameis Winston. what I need in my life is Jameis Winston going 20 of 40 for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 picks in the
Three pick
playoff
sixes.
game. Yeah, I actually need that in my life. I've been deficient of joy the past.
How good would a Jameis Winston playoff game in the year of our Lord 2024 be?
Oh. We got a Joe Flacco coming back and a Jameis Winston resurrecting from the dead.
How about a Baker Mayfield just throwing like 200-yard games to Mike Evans to make a run in the playoffs, like 3 of them in a row?
No, look, the NFC South is fun. Don't get me wrong with the.
What do we think Jake Delhomme's doing right now?
Bagging his wife, missionary.
Danny, what you just said about Baker reminded me of something. I had the thought the other day. It wasn't watching football this past weekend. It was the weekend before. What do you guys think about the idea in football, the NFL specifically, of a closer? Like for the quarterback position, there are certain guys who are terrible for 3.5 quarters. But in the middle of the fourth quarter, when you're down and you're like, you know what, fuck it, just do whatever you want, they become incredible.
Yeah, and 2-minute drive experts, so to speak.
Baker has kind of been like that. Like he will be mediocre all game or bad, and then the last 10 minutes he just turns it on and is incredible. And there's some other guys like that too. So do you guys have anybody you would want to have on your team as a closer?
Fitzmagic as a closer
there you go.
Was a great one for the Dolphins.
Sunday, 3:35 p.m. I'm tapping in Kirk.
Great one. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got your like Jimmy Garoppolo check down Charlie for 3.5 quarters. And if you're winning, great. He stays in the game. And if you're not winning, you bring in
Tommy DeVito.
There you go.
No. This is
Matt Stafford would be my pick, I think.
This is the perfect scenario. You have Justin Herbert go for the first 3 quarters because you know the Chargers are going to be down 8 with 2 minutes to go and no timeouts. Then you wave in Kirk Cousins if you're playing at 3:35. W Town. Chargers are finally in the playoffs again.
But that was technically
wrong. They never got a closer for Phillip Rivers.
Isn't that 12:45 LA time though?
Yeah, that's okay. Kirk Cousins' body operates on the East Coast time in the year of our Lord.
the year of our New York City time zone, Lord.
So let's go there.
All right, sorry, I derailed us there, but
that's good.
A little bit of breaking news. I don't know if you guys have read this. Robert Kraft has supposedly made the decision he's going to let Bill Belichick go. This is not a joke. There is not hard confirmation on this, but after the game in Germany, a lot of news reports came out that he made a decision after week 10 that Bill Belichick, this will be his final season. Now, I think the internet may be messing with me because people are not talking about this yet. This did happen a couple hours ago, but it's reported on NBC in a couple.
Yeah, the thing I saw was that like the Patriots have said like that's and it was a Pats reporter. What I saw was a Pats reporter said that this was the plan, and then the Patriots were like, that's bullshit. That shouldn't have been leaked, or like that's it's not true, and it shouldn't have been leaked. And it's like, well, if it's leaked, doesn't that mean it's true? So I don't. Yeah. So I think there's some smoke to that fire, but I don't know how much.
They're probably going to try and trade him, and if this gets out, then they can't.
Is anybody
trading for? Yeah. No, thank you. No,
I feel like there's teams out there that would want him.
Who?
I don't know. Somebody who maybe just fired Josh McDaniels.
The Raiders are going to bring in Belichick?
They literally brought in Josh McDaniels because they wanted the Belichick disciple. They could have the real thing now.
I know, but Belichick's 100 years old and walking around Southie with his shirt off.
Looking good. Fucking in the evening. Making those night moves.
Oh my God! Though, could you imagine Belichick in like Tampa or like just like or Vegas, just like a dirty tan, like fake tan, like just letting himself go, just like living life, doing like Jimmy Johnson.
Belichick only has sex in one position, and it's laying on his back.
Hell yeah.
Reverse missionary.
Absolutely.
Is that the name of it? I would love for someone. I'm like, babe, let's do reverse missionary tonight. It's so much more romantic.
Right?
Yeah, just cowgirl, but it sounds much more romantic.
No, reverse missionary is so much better.
I do think a little bit of the
No, wait.
Instead of her being
Hang on, hang
upright,
on.
she's like prone and like breathing in
Well,
your
yeah.
face, getting all
Cowgirl-
sweaty, dripping on you.
Cowgirl, she is straddling. Reverse missionary, like you would have your legs open, and she's got hers closed.
Oh,
Like the Amazon position. Not
It
that I
is-
watch porn.
reverse Amazon, not on the table. Like you got to be at the end of the bed for the Amazon position, right? I'm not a Scientologist here, but I think
I
that's
was losing it.
I'm just
Guys, we
picturing
should have
Andy,
saved this for
Andy,
tomorrow.
like
We should have done this tomorrow.
grabbing his ankles.
either way. Belichick,
I think I'm gonna move up my cutoff time.
this isn't working for you,
Oh,
Danny?
It's working too well for me.
Danny needs to go have some alone time before bed.
Oh my god.
I do think it's crazy. Belichick feels like he's earned the right to go out on his own terms a little
Yeah.
bit. I understand, like it's a results-oriented business. Best ability is availability. All the dumb
Bro,
shit.
Don Shula got fired.
Hey, Joe Montana played for the Chiefs. Tom Brady played for the Bucks. Get Belichick the fuck out of here. Nobody likes his bullshit.
Well, I think you realize that it's really easy to be the head coach and Tom Brady's a quarterback. Like when Tom Brady got traded, there was like the debate of like who's more important, Belichick or Brady. That shit's over, right?
Yeah.
If you have a legendary quarterback, the best ever to play, like it doesn't matter.
I will never admit that I said Belichick. I will never admit it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought he was, but I didn't realize that Belichick was like an asshole to all his players and nobody really liked playing for him. I knew he was all business, but I didn't realize that he was like the tough guy.
You know how big of an asshole Bill O'Brien is? Like huge asshole. Did you see Bailey Zappi come in and celebrate with Bill O'Brien after the win? He like jumped on him and like hugged, and then he saw Bill Belichick and he was like, "Good game." Yeah. It's like how much more of an asshole do you have to be than Bill O'Brien to like have that cause that like shift?
Is he an asshole or is he just an old football guy?
Bill O'Brien or
Yeah.
No, Bill O'Brien does suck. I've heard this from the Penn State days. He's not a great human being. But
Bill Cowher was hard on his players. He was an old football guy, and everybody loved him.
Bill Parcells, I think people liked him too, and he seems like just the worst. He's like the opposite of the salt of the earth. He's like the pepper of the earth. He's a giant dumpster human. So I don't know.
Tuna.
Thank you, Dana.
Bumblebee tuna. Bumblebee tuna.
All right, you guys want to do some picks? Or we want to talk?
Yeah, let's do some picks.
All right.
Whatever gets the thought of Andy getting reverse missionary out of my head.
Amazon.
Get my ankle up here.
Oh shit.
I'm sorry, I'm dying here. Sorry for the dead air there. Thursday night, we got the Chargers led by Easton Stick. Sorry, Andy.
No, before you get to that, I think because they're upset that how bad I'm beating them in the records, Al and Danny have decided that we should just give all of the Wong teasers out up front and not have them be included in anyone's picks. So
No,
Al,
you can do your thing.
No,
I just want
you
to
can
list them so I
continue to
can
give out
reference
Wong
them.
teasers that we all bet every week because we're not fucking idiots, and then you can just inflate your record that way. It's fine. I don't have any problem with you inflating your record that way. I'm just gonna do picks like a man.
Hey man, a bet is a bet is a bet.
Yeah, it
So
spends the same, man. Al, you want to read out those Wong numbers real quick before we get into it?
Sure. So there are 5 opportunities currently, and it is Miami at -8, teased down to -2. Houston at +2.5, teased up to +8.5. Kansas City -8.5, teased down to -2.5. Pittsburgh +2, teased up to +8, and then Dallas +2.5, teased up to +8.5. I love every single one of these legs a ton. I think the Pittsburgh one is the only one that might get fishy. But I thought that about Indianapolis, or I thought that about Baltimore this past week, and that one was no problem. So
It wasn't no problem. It took a punt return in overtime, but
yeah,
we did get there. We got it.
yeah, fair.
I tried to
gonna
lay
play
the
all
6.5 on that one too, and that sucked that they didn't kick the extra point.
Yeah, that's the worst. I hate this.
Got the
Oh.
teaser, so who cares? And I have the 4 other things that I teased it with. So
Yeah.
It was a great day. It was a great week to be a teaser for sure.
oh
So
yeah,
yeah. So again, those are you play those in 2 legs, minus 120 or better. Do that in every combination, and you can maybe
don't do it on Hard Rock because it's minus 125, bitches.
Yeah, I'm still gonna do it there because it's where I can
It's
do
legal.
it. But
Yeah, it's legal.
stupid.
If you have
So-
access to offshore books or DraftKings, do it there.
If you have access to the internet, you have access to offshore books.
Yes, you do.
All
You're
right,
only
sorry
bound
about
to
that,
your
Matt.
essence there. So we got the Chargers and Easton Stick. Great baseball name, by the way. Sounds like a baseball player with Easton and Stick. The rare double-double. Going into Aiden O'Connell to face the Las Vegas Raiders. This is the dream matchup, right? You got Easton Stick, Aiden O'Connell. Because of all of that,
Dream matchup.
I'm going under 34. It's Thursday night as well. Under 30.
I'm going under because it's Thursday.
I'm going to fight you guys. My numbers have been telling me to go over on Thursday nights for a couple of weeks now, and I haven't done it out of respect for the Thursday night principal play. But it's time. It's time to do it. And I will feel a little bit better if I lose this. Then hey, I reverse jinxed it back to Matt and Danny winning. That'll help a little. But I do think the over is the right play here.
Yeah, I think oh yeah, go ahead.
No. For what it's worth, we could use the reverse jinx. We've been ice cold on this play, but that means it's going to come.
Yeah, I was going to say I think it's better to call it a prime time game under, and then just phase out the Thursday night part of it because Thursdays have not done well, but Sunday and Monday nights the unders have hit like at a crazy rate. So just food for thought. Also, Easton and Aiden sound like a couple of kids I would bully in elementary school, but those are dudes that would definitely be able to kick my ass right now, right?
Yeah, hell yeah, they will.
Yeah.
Aiden O'Connell looks like he's the sheriff of your local town, but he also lifts like all the time.
Yeah.
But he also like lifts donuts too. He's like fat strong. That's what he looks like. Like not like just like ripped up, but he's not to be trifled with.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Like Britney Spears torso. It's just like wide and thick, but like not fat.
Yeah, he is. He's like a sneaky, not fat guy.
Yeah.
Minnesota coming off their huge offensive output last week, putting up 3 points, going against Jake Browning and Cincinnati Bengals. Andy, what are we doing here?
Taking Minnesota in the 3.5. Browning comes back to earth. Dobbs wakes up and becomes the Pastronaut again, and they cover this number easily.
Yeah, I like that. I like that play a lot.
Yeah, I don't really have a good read on that game.
Back, right? I think Justin Jefferson's back this week.
Oh, also, yeah, Saturday football's back. How about that?
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. I messed up. This is Saturday at 1 p.m. We are back. College football. Let's put you to the side. You've done your job. Now it's Saturday NFL season. 1 o'clock on Saturday. Thank you, Al.
Yeah.
Did you guys know? Sorry, I keep derailing us. I had too much to drink. Did you guys know that there's actually a law that doesn't allow NFL games on Saturdays until middle of December? Back when the NFL became a thing, people were afraid that NFL would kill college football and college football would go away. And so to protect it, they made a law you can't put NFL games on Saturdays till like the middle of December.
I love that rule.
Yeah, I'm glad it exists, if that's the case.
Yeah.
Don't have healthcare, but we got our football segregated.
Congress is focused on the important thing.
Yeah.
Priorities, guys. Priorities.
Yeah.
We got Pittsburgh, Indianapolis.
$300 for a blood test, but
Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, 4:30 on Saturday. No plays.
Just the teaser.
Is 8:15 prime time on a Saturday? Is that technically considered a primetime game?
sure
Yeah.
is.
Because we got Russell Wilson going into Detroit. Al, what are we doing here?
That actually is a great reminder for me to check what the total is on this game. It is 48. Okay, I'm not going to bet the under, but something to consider if you are, holding fast to the primetime unders. But I'm laying 5 with the Lions here. It feels bad, but it also feels like Lions are due to right the ship, and the Broncos just can't keep winning, man. You can't just keep winning in this league. So somebody's going to knock you off. I think this is a good spot. Detroit at home in prime time. I think Detroit's like really good in prime time. Actually, that's excluding Thanksgiving. That's not prime time. That's a noon game, and everyone hates watching them. And they are like abominable when there's a waxing gibbous, right?
It's
But
very important for June's phases.
but yeah, but Monday night, Sunday night, and Saturday night. This game I think was flexed into this spot. So laying 5 with the Lions at home I think is a good play.
I like it. It's fun. All right, let's go to 1 o'clock where football lives. Sunday, 1 p.m. We got the stinky line of the week. We got Chicago going into Cleveland. Chicago is a 3.5-point dog. Danny, what are we doing here?
I'm taking the 3.5 points for 2 reasons. Chicago, if they win this, that would be a winning streak, shockingly, for the Bears this season. They've won their last 2. Fields has been running in touchdowns and making plays. The team's always better when he's doing that. Also, Flacco is the Browns quarterback, and I believe that he is as good as he once was last week, and he can only do that once.
Fair enough. Atlanta going into Carolina to face the Panthers. Also a stinky line. Panthers +3. Andy, what are you doing?
I'm taking the points with Carolina. I said this before we started recording, and Al and Danny did not appreciate it. But Bryce Young has a higher ceiling than Desmond Ridder. He just does. And so we're taking Carolina.
It's not true. I'm with you on the Carolina +3 because both of these teams stink. I mean, Carolina's going to win a game at some point, right? This is like the only one that they have on their schedule that they can win, maybe.
I have a win.
Yeah, I think Carolina or you might have an argument. It's worth debating, maybe, like career-wise, who has the higher ceiling. But in this game, I don't think Bryce Young has a higher ceiling than Desmond Ridder.
Bryce Young's ceiling is as high as his height.
No.
Been
Very
saying
low
that
ceilings
for
in his
a long
house.
time. I'm doing the under 35.5. I think this game's going to be stinky and boring to watch, and lots of turnovers that don't lead to points.
Yeah, that sounds right. Kansas City going into New England. Al, what are we doing?
Yeah, so I like 2 plays here, but they're competing plays, so I'm only gonna do the one. But I'll tell you both so you can choose which one you prefer. But the first is laying 8.5 with Kansas City in New England, and I like that because New England got their win last week. Kansas City, Kermit's upset about lining up offsides. They lost that game to the Bills. I think Mahomes is out for blood this week, so I think they cover the 8.5. But I also like the under 37. So I'm definitely not going to play both of these. I think I like the Chiefs spread play better than I like the under. So I don't know. I just wanted to mention that in case you prefer the under, or you were leaning the under. You have my blessing to play that one instead of the spread if you want.
We should probably talk about the end of that Chiefs game for a second. I didn't understand why Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes were like so angry when you line up offsides. Like offsides has always been offsides; it always will be offsides. But I don't know. I don't know what anyone else's take was on that.
I am so annoyed by Patrick Mahomes. Like, I'm so done with him. He's so annoying. Every single play, he gets up and wants a roughing the passer call or a late hit call every time he whines. And then in his press conference after the game, when they asked him about it,
too.
He said you can't call that offsides because it had nothing to do with the play. It had no effect on the play. You know what else has no effect on the play? Late hit on the quarterback. I say we let anybody that wants take a late hit on Patrick Mahomes for the rest of the year, and we don't call it because that play has no effect on the outcome of the game.
That's player safety. I get what you're saying, but that's more player safety. So I disagree with Patrick Mahomes here. I agree with his
whiny
logic.
Little bitch.
But I disagree with his take on this specific play. So most of the time, the receivers, when they line up, they check with the you learn this in high school when you're lining up as a receiver. You check with the lineman if you're supposed to be up because, basically the receiver is usually like 20 or 30 yards. I mean, in college or in high school, it's further because the hash can be further away. So it's like 20 yards only in the pros, but you're far from the ball. So you got to check to see because you only can be like 1 foot off the line. You have to be like 1 foot on the line of scrimmage, and if you're 1 foot over, you're offsides. Or if you're like 1 foot back, then you're not on the line. And so you ask, and they tell you to move up or move back. Well, Tony was like in tight. He was in a bunch kind of formation there, so he was not 20 yards away. He could see the ball. He was like maybe 10 yards away. Second, he did not check with he was supposed to be on the line of scrimmage. He did not check with the ref who would have told him to back off before the play. So, I mean, they have really no leg to stand on. The third thing is he was so far offsides, his toe was on the other side of the ball. His toe only has to be up to the ball, which is the one that they don't call very often that they'll give you. If you're on the other side of the ball, you're offsides. Every time they're offsides, like that gets called, and they made it a point of emphasis this entire year. It's been called way more than it ever has been.
Yeah, I'm with you, Danny. I get that for sure, and I think I agree mostly. But I did see something interesting that showed at various instances in the game, Tony was lined up the exact same way, and they didn't throw a flag. I don't know, did they throw the flag immediately, or was it like okay? So, and if he didn't get warned at all, it is shitty if he lined up like that like 5 or 6 times and they didn't throw the flag then for them to just throw it on that play. I mean, also the outcome of the play obviously makes it sting more, but that's separate argument. But
if I'm those refs, I pick up that flag because it was such a dope
just
play.
fucking line up on side. Just line up on side.
It happens all the time. How many kick returns for touchdowns have we seen that get called back because there was a block in the back, 60 yards back? Like,
yeah, I do think they don't really do that anymore, though. I do think the refs have been instructed to.
Not always a lateral that goes for a touchdown at the end of a game with no time.
Dangerous pass, by the way. Dangerous pass.
And I wonder if Kelsey saw the flag.
He threw that between the dude's hands, right?
On the defense.
Thought it was like a
free play. Yeah, so okay, if it fumble, who cares?
Kind of thing. Yeah.
I'm probably surprised if you don't see another lateral play like that this week. The NFL is such a copycat league. That worked out really well, and I do feel like there's room to grow that. Like, take a play from other sports where they lateral on the run.
Some safety's going to pick off one of those laterals and take it to the house.
It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be hilarious. But I think there's like meat on the bone a little bit there. But yeah, I agree with you guys.
You can call it the prick six. He's a prick for doing the lateral, but then they pick it off and run it back. I don't know.
All right.
Don't try too hard.
You just
hard enough.
Keep peppering them in there. Tampa, Green Bay, Battle of the Bays. Al, what are we doing here?
Laying 3 with the Packers. So the Packers lost to the Giants. That's a shitty loss. They had that game wrapped up too, and then they blew it. I mean, the Giants really handed them that game, and they still managed to lose. The Bucks. The Bucks have a good run defense, but that's really about it. So I think this Packers team will be able to make light work of the Bucks.
Bucks defense has been pretty good this year. It's actually kept them in this NFC South race. I'm going under 42.5 because also I don't really believe. I know Jordan Love has had like a couple of good games in a row, and everybody's like, "Oh, he must be the next Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre." I also think that happens a lot with quarterbacks in their first couple of years of starting, and then they shit the bed and throw for like 120 yards.
He's had some really nice throws this year, though. Like, I hate to say it, like nobody wants Jordan Love to suck more than me, but
the Lions.
He's made some really nice throws, and I'm like,
yeah, he has. I'm still going under 42.5 because I just think that this is like the shit the bed game for him.
He hits Romeo Dubes a lot. He hits him.
Daubs. Romeo Daubs.
And as Matt said, Baker has been really good in the last 6 minutes of the game, but not so great in the first 3.5 quarters. So, again, that all points to under for me.
Yeah.
Houston, Tennessee. What are we doing here, Dano?
Houston plus 2.5. I think Tennessee kind of stole one last week, and they're going to be on a high thinking, they're going to start smelling their own farts and shit the bed here. And I really like CJ Stroud. He's just really awesome. Has been forever. I like that I can root for him now because he's not in my division and he's not playing for a shitty school.
Yep.
I like that a lot. I chickened out because of the hook, but I like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna come aboard on that
I
one.
am not positive. I know he got concussed at the end of the last game, so I don't know what his status is. So that's something you want to keep an eye on, I think. But
Yeah. Even either way, if Stroud's playing, I love this play. Houston plus 2.5 goes. Tennessee covered the spread. Houston didn't cover the spread last week. The Jets end up covering that spread in the weirdest game I've ever watched. So Houston plus 2.5 feels like it really hits the sweet spot there. Let's go Sunday, Hard Rock Stadium. We got the Jets going into the Dolphins. Al, what are you doing here?
yeah, nobody's ever been as down on the Dolphins as you Fins fans are currently. So lay the 8.5 with them against the Jets, one of the best defenses in the league. I think McDaniel course corrects and
8 on
see-
Bovada right now.
Okay, 8.
You can
Minus 8.
correct that for yourself. You're welcome.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know if Tyreek Hill's playing or not. This line would be bigger if he was. If it
Yeah.
was like
I have to
100%.
assume he's going to play if he still like gutted it out.
It says
but-
day to day, and like I'm
Yeah.
sure they don't want to do permanent damage to his ankle.
Yeah.
It's not worth it, right?
He's so tough, and he will play through anything. And if he didn't play through that, I gotta imagine it could be something serious. And once the adrenaline's gone, you never know.
Yeah. New York Giants and the Fighting Tommy DeVitos going into New Orleans. Andy, what are you doing here, buddy?
I'm taking the Fighting Tommy DeVitos and the points. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a platter of gabagool on the sidelines. Maybe some prosciutto, and they're gonna win this, not just cover.
Some cherry peppers, some mozz.
I like the Giants plus 6 here as well for all the reasons Andy just said. I think the Giants are playing better with Tommy DeVito, which was very odd to say when everyone was loving on Daniel Jones last year. We didn't talk about Tommy DeVito's agent. That can't really be his agent, right? Like they had to just be like, hey, let's get the Italian like trope really hard. Let's put this guy in here. He's kissing each other on the lips after celebrations.
He's like doing this like he can like his hand, the hand motion, the Italian hand motion, but his hand's like blurry, so he's really like selling it in a celebration. Oh my god, I love it.
After the game, he came up and slapped Tommy DeVito's face and said, "How's your mother?" Like he did everything.
Fedora, black pinstripe suit.
If that's really his agent, I want him as an agent. I hope I get famous enough to have like Captain Italy.
He looks like you could afford him now. So I'd maybe check his rates before you assume you're priced out of that one.
He's somebody's cousin. That's how he got to be the agent.
Yeah, Tommy's.
Right.
So
Tommy's godfather.
Actually don't love this pick as much as you guys. I think the Giants play much better at home than on the road.
I was going to say that. I had the joke all lined up. I said I think Tommy mangias in the Big Apple and not so much on the I don't know how you say street or road in
Yeah, I just think that they're not going to travel well at Bourbon Street. So.
Yeah, maybe not, but I the number there seems like value on that number. All right, we're at 4:00. We got the Commanders and the Fighting Sam Howells going to the Rams. The Rams they've been a scrappy bunch. They've been a scrappy bunch here, and they're a 6.5-point favorite. Andy, what are we doing?
I'm taking the 6.5 with Washington and going under. I'm thinking this is going to be a little bit of a low-scoring affair, and the Rams can keep it close. I wouldn't bet them to win, but I think they can keep it close.
Yeah, I'm going to take the over, though. I think, so I like it. I like it being a close game because that means that both teams are scoring about the same amount, which means we only need, 24 points or so per side to get there. This is also something that I'm testing out. So I think there is great success in betting a total when the number moves through 44. So if it's like opens at 43.5 and it moves up to like 45, you take the over, and then vice versa. So giving that a go.
I'm definitely with Al on the over in this game, and I'm going to make that an actual play because
Get it over your column.
Oh, sorry, wrong column. Over 48.5. Okay, and basically the Rams have scored over 30 the last 3 weeks. 2 of those against elite defenses in Baltimore and Cleveland, and the Commanders have given up 45, 45, and 31 the last 3 weeks to Miami, Dallas, and the Giants.
Would you guys
So,
consider
I
the
love that
Rams
team.
team total then? Maybe is the Rams team total a better way to go about it then?
That sounds
It's not out
reasonable.
yet, but yeah, I'll be betting that as well. But I'm giving out the over.
Yeah. I just
They
didn't
might
know
hit it on their own.
if you think the Rams will get the chances here are Sam Howell is going to come back down.
Oh, the Rams defense hasn't been great either, but they gave up 37 to Baltimore, and
Everyone's giving up 30 to Baltimore.
They did hold Cleveland in whoever's last game before.
I don't know where Action Network gets their numbers from, but it's showing 27.5 for the Rams, which would be a great number to get that at.
Doesn't sound bad.
I would definitely go over that. I would definitely go over that. I would bet everything on that. Bet the account. I would get rid of all my other plays and bet everything on that one number.
Well, you can add it in there.
Add it in here. I mean, I don't know if it's
I
real.
think a team
but
total
I
a couple
assume
weeks
they have
ago,
it listed
so
somewhere.
I don't think that's a real number, but you want me to put that instead?
it's up to you, buddy. It's your play. Just keep it.
It might be like what do you call it when they like use the spread to determine spreading the total to determine
Math.
what the number
What
should
do
be.
they call it now? Math.
Yeah.
Did you say it was 22 and a half?
27.5.
Either one. Anything under 30, I would have.
All right, Andy, you ready to do this?
Not really.
4 o'clock. San Francisco going to Arizona.
You guys are so dumb.
Arizona.
Thelma and Louise over here.
Yeah, that's exactly it. We're gonna go off this bridge together, this cliff together.
Yep.
I normally make a play of taking teams that are dogs of over double digits. This one feels real bad. San Francisco's been very good lately. I'm hoping they're sleepwalking a little bit. Kyler Murray messes around. I'm going to take the 13.5 with Arizona here.
Same. I'm with you. It doesn't feel great,
No.
but it is in Arizona. Kyler's got a couple of weeks under his belt. Hopefully knock the rust off. And I would never bet Arizona to win this game. But to keep it close, maybe backdoor this in the fourth quarter. It's got enough value on it to play.
I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all.
The spot is great. The spot is great. The matchup is
the best thing about this bet is that the lines I hate the most usually win. But Andy, I think that your spreadsheets are including time when the San Francisco 49ers were beat up or something to give you this as a play.
Yeah, maybe, and it's including the Josh Dobbs Pasternaut-led Arizona Cardinals. So.
I mean, there's plenty of room for this game to be a snooze fest that's never close, and Arizona to still cover.
Yeah, this feels like something that gets backdoored. Kyler Murray messes around, throws a touchdown late, it ends up being a 10-point game, and that's where it closes.
Yeah, 13.5 is a stupid number though, because like there's so many different things that can happen. Like you're gonna know very early in this game whether
this game's gonna come
or not you're gonna be on the right or
wrong.
No,
see, I think you're wrong.
They're gonna be down by 3 touchdowns, and then they're gonna score a touchdown, and they're gonna go for 2. And that's what this game's going to come down to for you, if they get that 2-point conversion or not, because they're not scoring again after that.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good way to live in a 13.5-point spread, actually. I hope that is what it is, because that'll be a nice, healthy sweat.
So your bet is that Arizona, A, scores that touchdown when they're down 3 touchdowns, conversion. And B, gets the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm in.
Yep.
I'm in.
Love it.
It's not the smart way to do it, but I'm in. Dallas, Buffalo.
Maybe DeAndre Hopkins.
Before you all talk about this pick, I know we're going late here, but we didn't talk about Sean McDermott giving props to ISIS. Is that what it was? Or Al Qaeda?
Yeah, they were so organized.
Or no, the 9/11 hijackers. That's what it was. Sorry. Okay, I just respect. Like that's a real going out on a limb there.
He really dug his feet in the sand on a take. You know, like, have you ever made one of those bad takes? You're like, well, I'm gonna die on this dumb hill now.
Never.
He made like an off comment, didn't realize the impact of his comments, and he's like, well, I'm here.
And then you just had to dig your heels in and commit to it.
I didn't read the whole article, but I skimmed it. And did he make that comment in like 2019? And like it just surfaced now, or did he just make this comment? Like, yeah, the people are
it's like a
digging up.
4-year-old thing that
Yeah.
came up. For
No, it was actually 2002.
Okay,
He likes
so
relevant
much worse.
comments. Very
All right.
new.
Oh,
Dallas Buffalo.
Dallas
he'd
Buffalo.
be in Guantanamo if it was 2002.
Andy, I'll let you go first here.
Dallas is turning into a wagon, man. They're steamrolling really good teams like the Eagles. I don't care if it's on the road. Dallas getting points. I'm taking it every time.
Yeah, I do
think we've heard this story before, right, Matt?
Yeah,
but it's not the playoffs yet. It's not the playoffs
Okay.
yet.
I'm not buying Dallas. I am buying Buffalo in a situation in a game where they need to win.
Yeah.
They did what they needed to last week, and I think they're going to do what they needed to. I think the Tennessee game may invigorate them that the Dolphins gave up a dumb one at home. But they're like, this division is still in reach. The Dolphins have a tough part of their schedule coming up. The last 3 weeks are very, very challenging, with the final game being against Buffalo. They can put themselves in a position to win. And I'm not going to buy Dallas. Like I've watched this movie so many times, and I've fallen victim to it so many times. I think Buffalo at home, laying the 2. I think everyone, the line probably surprised a lot of people, and I think it surprised people for a good reason, right? We just saw Dallas, so I think Dallas may be overvalued. And Buffalo, everyone saw Kansas City get screwed or whatever. I just don't think the line's taking into account that Buffalo will win this game by more.
So
So
Buffalo's had like a ridiculous run of games right now, right? They went Cincinnati, Denver, Jets, Philadelphia, Kansas City. That's like a tough 5 games in a row. 3 of them have been on the road. They're coming back home and they have another hard game. They've had a tough schedule, right? The Cowboys have had a little bit easier of a schedule. Their only road game they've had to play in their last 5 was Carolina. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. So Cowboys on the road, not my favorite pick. If I had to bet this one, I would go with Matt. But I'll probably, I'll definitely be watching this game. I'll probably live bet it based on whoever scores first, and hope that Dallas gets up earlier so I can get a better line on Buffalo.
Yeah, I think the time to buy Dallas was last week, and I think this is the week to get out. I think Buffalo's already in the playoffs, so to speak. So they pretty much have to win out to make the playoffs with 6 losses already. So yeah, their playoff run starts now. So I like to play on Buffalo. I'm surprised I didn't take it.
I want you all to know that I want Buffalo to lose this game.
Yeah, me too.
It's
another reason I'm not on it.
Yeah, I get
Buffalo.
It's another reason I'm not on it.
I have a buddy at work who's a huge Bills fan, and this morning I woke up to a text from him. It was the meme from Jurassic Park of the picture of the side view mirror that says objects in the rear are closer than they appear, but it was Josh Allen's head on the T-Rex.
I don't want to mess around with Buffalo. They've scored more touchdowns.
It is.
They've scored more points than anyone this year, I think. They're up there. They are a great offensive team. Josh Allen's made those turnovers that have killed them.
Yeah, early in the season.
I think a correction's coming.
He's still having a career year, basically.
I think you're going to see a good Buffalo. Yeah, I don't see Dallas traveling that well in this situation. It's probably a close game, but I think Buffalo wins.
Before we go to the next game, I would like to commend Andy on efficiently explaining a meme.
Well done.
Yeah,
I didn't quite picture it in my head though.
You want me to do it?
It's okay.
Sunday night, Baltimore, Jacksonville. Really a fun game. This is going to be a game that really matters. Jacksonville kind of needs to get this one. I kind of want Jacksonville to get it now too, with where Baltimore's sitting. Al, what are you doing?
Yeah, so also this has been a really square week for me. I'm on all favorites actually, and an over. But I'm laying 3 with the Ravens here on the road. So Jacksonville, they haven't played a lot of really tough teams. I feel bad. I keep picking on the Jags every week. I feel like I'm picking against them on the spread. But
Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Houston, tough teams, man.
Yeah, and what did they do in those games?
Lose, win.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
then they had Tennessee, which they won, and they got their asses kicked by San Francisco.
Everybody gets their asses kicked by San Francisco. Yeah. Arizona this week.
Yeah. And you know what? You could swap San Francisco out for Baltimore, and you'd be just as correct.
It's true.
So that's the play.
Baltimore's been winning by less than San Francisco, I think. It's usually been in the 10-point range instead of the 3-touchdown range. But
Yeah.
Those all cover -3.
oh no,
It's a-
except when they played Seattle and won 37-3. That was
Yeah.
they made.
And I
Geno
think
Smith look
Detroit, they
pedestrian.
won over Detroit by a few more than 10. But
It's going to be a really fun game, though. I
Yeah.
think I think you're going to see a good fight from Jacksonville. 3-point spread is tough to predict either way, right? That doesn't indicate a good fight, but I think it's going to be a fun game. Monday night bird battle. We got the Eagles going to Seattle. Wow, that's a good rhyme. Al, what are you doing here?
yeah, I love this one. It's going to be my chuggy bet of the week. I'm laying 3.5 with the Eagles. Not concerned with the hook. They're going to blow out the Seahawks. It's in Seattle, and I know Seattle's a tough place to play, but Philly is they're not losing 2 in a row.
Why
Yeah.
am I not on this?
Get in.
Yeah.
Get in where you
I
fit.
probably
so
didn't
many
scroll
plays
down
this
far
week.
enough and see those last 2 plays.
No, I don't know why I'm not on it. Is it 3.5?
That's what I
Yeah.
have.
That doesn't make any sense. I mean, Geno Smith might not even play.
I don't know if he is going to play. He didn't play last week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it didn't go well.
No, it did not.
Is Drew Lock still the backup there?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, he what Drew Lock's claim to fame is he will make 2 good throws in the game. 2.
All right, I'm going to choose my chuggy bet for the lulls. Andy, what are you doing here?
For Chuggy Bet, I am going to take the over on Thursday night.
Here's why you're wrong. My chuggy bet is under 34. Easton Stick, Aiden O'Connell. Las Vegas scored 3 points, scored 0 points, and lost by 3. Come on.
Saving them up. Saving them up.
No, this is probably going to go bad, but I like the under 34 here.
You guys let me do the Rams team total over 27.5. Of course,
Yeah.
I'm going to do that as my chuggy bet.
Oh, yeah.
It's the
Love it.
easiest bet of the year I've had. So.
All right. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for listening. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all that stuff. We need it. We need your support here. Give 5-star reviews. Write anything in the comment. Write the word smunt. That would be extra bonus.
If you've been to
for us-
Famous Toastery, let us know what your go-to order is.
Yeah. Do you go the Bloody Marys or the mini?
The mini mimosa
flight.
flight.
I think you gotta go with the flood. Yeah. Thank y'all. Cheers, Kent.
Cheers.
Good night, Joey.
Good night, Danny.
Love you guys. Cheers.
All right. Let's get the fuck out of here, huh?